What's up, everyone? It's Kyle here. Happy Monday. How are you all doing in chat today? I see Rick is in there. Getting everything set up here. There we go. We'll test out the soundboard. All right, I think we're ready to go. So let's go here. And yeah, we're counting down until the Cyberpunk stuff, so that should be great. But I figured we could start a little bit early. Ooh, that's hot. Okay. Let's go to YouTube. The last Night City Wire was pretty sweet. Definitely enjoyed that. Chat open 1 sec. Yeah, there's a lot of anticipated games, but I don't know if I'm more excited to play a game than Cyberpunk. I think Cyberpunk 2077 is probably number one on the list. I don't know. There's quite a few good games that are going to be coming out around Christmas time. There's going to be Halo Infinite, which is going to be great. That's supposedly going to be more open world, as we saw the map when we reacted and checked out the Xbox game showcase, which was pretty sweet. We got to see that Halo is going to have more of an open world, like a Ghost of Tsushima or Zelda Breath of the Wild. So that'll be really interesting to see how they navigate and show us a different version of Halo. It does look like they are going to be going back to their roots, though, so that's pretty cool. It did look a lot like Halo 1. So it's going to be on Twitch. And we'll watch that. But let's go check out another let's go check out the last trailer. Let's check this out. There's a bunch of people that are going to be doing reactions. What's up, everyone? By the way, thanks for joining me. Super excited to be watching this. More Cyberpunk 2077 gameplay. They're going to be showing us new weapons and all sorts of cool stuff today. So I'm really excited to get a bigger chunk and a closer look, really, at what's going to be coming out in November. We're going to be playing this game on the channel 100%. Probably multiple playthroughs, because this is the multiple choice game, right? You have all sorts of different varieties of characters that you can make, different outcomes that come from each conversation, from each way you interact with the world and certain factions and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really fun game. CD Projekt Red is absolutely amazing. Of course, they made The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, and they're just a very respected studio. They know what they're doing, and just look at that. Like, look at these. It's gonna be amazing. So this is the last Night City Wire. We can go back a little bit further. We'll go to we'll check it out. There is a song playing at this part, and I already got copyrighted for it. So, what's up, Tom?
But we go over the plan.
There's this.
Let's go to more of the gameplay.
You'll be able to traverse that space in your car or motorcycle. This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in different families, and they're traveling across that space in convoys made up. Okay, so the battle is going around the whole Night City, and as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your car or motorcycle. This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are
yeah,
living
the
in
nomads. It's gonna be like Borderlands, like a Borderlands-esque area.
Space in convoys made out of the cars and motorcycles.
Mad Max.
And as a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content that has been prepared specifically for you to get that awesome feel of the Badlands as an area.
Yeah.
In the trailer, we also saw like a completely metal creature. Now, he didn't look like he was from the Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So please tell the people at home, who is this giant metal monster?
Okay, so that big dude, that was Adam Smasher. He has been introduced in pen and paper in Cyberpunk 2020 by our senpai Mike Pondsmith.
Senpai.
Adam Smasher is a fully converted cyborg. He was always a loyalist of Arasaka. And time has changed, and in 2077, he had to find his own space in Night City, but to find out, you'll have to play the game.
In this trailer, we do see some flashes of a Ripper Doc called Victor Vector. I think if people have watched our previous gameplays, they might remember him. But I'd really like for you to give the people at home some more information about what Ripper Docs are and how they'll be interacting with them when they play Cyberpunk.
So, Ripper Docs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs to the metal ones.
This is
they
really
can
cool. You get like
update
enhanced
your body,
arms,
enhance your body,
eyes,
change
and
you
other
into
body
this
parts for
walking
you.
war machine.
You're basically
and,
like
as a player, you are going to
cyborg.
meet different kind of Ripper Dogs in the game, craft your own relationship with them. Some of them are like important characters for a story. Through that, you will invest eddies that you're gathering to turn your body into this tool that allows you to survive on the streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining us. I know you'll be back later in the episode because you're going to be helping us to analyze the Braindance gameplay. But before that, we do have some news to share. Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches. And just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4, you'll also be able to play it on PlayStation 5 when the console launches. And that's not all. There will be a free upgrade for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
To Night City.
Before we reveal our first look at the Braindance gameplay and welcome back our developers for a chat, there is just one more thing we want to announce, something that we've been working on in secret for a while. We are very excited to announce our partnership with Studio Trigger and Netflix to bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the Cyberpunk universe, which we've been working on for some time now. Edgerunners is due to launch in 2022, but for some more information, let's go to the team in Tokyo.
That'll be good.
Hi, my name is Saya Elder. I am the Japan-based producer for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I am a fixer, to put it in the words of the Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of nerds, and wherever there are nerds, there's going to be anime fans. So it was always a dream for us to make anime. When we began this project, we were certain that we didn't want to make a recreation of the game. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a standalone story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story. I do like to think that it's going to be a great gateway for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole. Right now we're in Nakano, which is one of the biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the dream team that will be bringing you this anime.
こんにちは。トリガーの代表取締役の大塚です。
監督の今石です。
キャラクターデザインを担当する吉成です。
ゲームのサイバーパンクのファンの方、今回初めて触れる方両方に満足していただけるようにアニメを作るつもりです。よろしくお願いします。
今回はそのサイバーパンクという僕らが10代の、一ファンにしか過ぎなかった頃に生まれたジャンル、そういうジャンルのものをまた、時代が何周もして作れるというのが非常に楽しみです。
トリガーも10年という
These are
こと
like
で、
OGs
監督に
of
今
this
石、
scene.
キャラクターデザインに吉成と
They know
い
their
う
shit.
トリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品に
It's gonna be
して
really
いきたい
good.
と思いま
It's
す。
gonna be
お
really
楽しみに。
Studio Trigger is, I mean, they're really good. CD Projekt Red has good taste. Like, you know what I
Now
mean?
it is
Like
time to show you some
they don't put
gameplay
out
of
like
Braindance.
a game
This
every
is a feature
year,
that you'll
so.
experience when you play Cyberpunk 2077. Braindance is essentially a recording of somebody else's experience. It allows you to relive their sense of sight, smell, touch, and even hearing, all thanks to a special device. After the gameplay, I will be welcoming back Pavel Sasko. I will also be joined by Patrick Mills, our senior quest designer and all-round lore master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Braindance when you play Cyberpunk 2077. So, let's take a look.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get
This
creative.
is really cool. The Braindance gameplay is great.
Get out. And we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
And remember, everything on full blast. They'll spot us extra for a wicked adrenaline high. Okay, on you go.
Down, everybody, on the ground. I want to see you kissing the flooring. Money, now, or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God. Well, yeah, hey, now, before I blow your fucking head off. Ah!
Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
That was too much. Could feel the guy's pain, his stress, his hope. Hope wrapped up in something else.
Mm-hmm. Probably took a booster just before. You'll be fine.
Yeah, she's a cool character, Judy. Hopefully she'll be someone that we'll be interacting with quite a bit.
I'll sever the link to the BD Roller's sensory array. You'll be able to look around freely. Whole scene's yours. Full cam control in analysis mode, so move around.
Yeah, the investigation mode, Rick, it's really cool. They're doing some cool shit with this game.
So analysis mode, you control playback. Can even pause when you feel the need. Then you use the editor console to unpause. Try it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out, and we sell the BD.
Great way to get information by listening to the surroundings and the conversations.
Right? Well, that's not all. You can speed things
It's really
up
cool how it's basically like data mining, right?
Give it a try. Rewind.
I think it's
roll it back
dope.
to the top. All good. Neat. Now try fast forwarding a bit.
So it starts in 11 minutes, everyone. This is just a previous Night City Wire where we were showing what they showcased last time in the last trailer, the last live stream.
That'll take you right back to the beginning. Try it. Now for some fun. This here's why you came in the first place. In analysis mode, you get to view and even scan details of the enviro recorded by the BD Roller. Focus on the heat. The gun this gonk gets from his buddy at the beginning.
The amount of detail that is going to be going into each part of this game is just insane.
Do nothing odd.
CD Projekt Red is, I think one of the top 5 studios for making games. I don't know, I could be wrong.
Okay, right here.
Or at least that's what I think.
Excellent. Let's move on. Now,
I'm not saying a lot.
In analysis mode, you can ferret out background noise and conversations if the roller got close enough.
Sucker Punch has to be up there now that they made Ghost of Tsushima. That's right, they raised the bar for sure. Right? There's so many good games that come out this year. There's Cyberpunk that comes out in November. Once that comes out, we'll just do that. But Marvel's Avengers comes out in October, September? I think September. So about a month from now, I'm not sure if we're going to play that or not. We'll see.
Okay. We have a deal today on 2 flavors. Curry and surf and everybody!
So, any thoughts?
Unbelievable. Seriously. Like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah, it's how BD recording implants.
For sure.
They pick up everything,
this game is...
all the elements in the background. Then an editor tweaks.
A lot of people will be calling for this game to win Game of the Year.
We'll move on when you get bored.
I find Ghost of Tsushima to be be very hard to top, but I mean, come on. There's a bunch of games at the end of the year which can be considered just 10 games maybe.
Like what?
Ev's got
Halo for sure.
That grab infrared, meaning you should be able to grab heat signatures from her recording.
Huh. Hella nice.
Yeah, there's big releases this year.
Scanning works on peeps too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her. All right, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, I'm gonna take now, fucking head off!
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming. But you will. Here it comes. My favorite part of the game. See
Assassin's Creed Valhalla hopefully will be good. I don't know though. I'm skeptical about that.
Shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk. Roll back to where the screen's in the kid's field of vision, then scan it.
Those are some of the big ones, right? Halo, Cyberpunk. Halo, Cyberpunk.
Must have got a nice slice of cred on the black
Vikings Valhalla.
Like
it's the big games towards the end of the year.
Are ready to pay a preem for a real flatline. Anyway, if you've seen enough, you can exit.
I'd probably rank Cyberpunk #1 right now, though, as far as anticipated games.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? It's too bad most of the BDs we do here are only good for flogging the log.
So Braindance is a pretty big part of the Cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's two sides I'd really like you guys to help me explore. First is the lore, so how this actually fits into the universe. And then there's the gameplay side, so how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of Braindance?
I would love to. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, Braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them. It was originally used for things like therapy and prisoner rehabilitation, but by 2077, it's become this global media industry, including things like movies, mass entertainment, things like that, video games, some interactive things, and of course, adult fare as well. Now, in our game, we deal a lot with black brain dances, or XBDs as we call them, and there are different types of those, but the one that you saw in the trailer just there was a flatliner. Now, that's where the person recording it actually dies during the recording. And it's popular sort of illicit kind of a thrill, but
experiences
a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the Braindance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this Braindance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the Braindance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of given actor.
That's
now,
so
as a player, you can
cool,
slide
really,
on
honestly.
the timeline of the recording, back and forth, trying to uncover different clues. And that clues are actually telling a story in the game. So, as a player, you will run different investigations that will lead you to different mysteries, and you will uncover them actually using that Braindance as a mechanics in the game.
So, as Pavel was saying, we use Braindance as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use Braindance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents of Night City. And we can explore things like childhood trauma, religion, various philosophical ideas in a way that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've tried to talk about some of the aspects
sweet.
that we think the community will find really exciting, but you know,
They
while
put a
you're
lot
both
of
here, I'd love to
time
know
and effort
what is it
into
about
this
Cyberpunk
specific
that you
mechanic
guys
to
are really excited for.
help
Patrick,
only
why
with
don't you start?
Understanding how
So
quests
one of
may
the things
turn
that
out,
I'm
like
most
information for
excited about in
specific
this
quests,
game
important
is the
information, but
characters and the way they
the way you
interact
interact
with the
with
world. We've got
the world
this
is pretty
really
cool.
interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020 source material and all of these events and all of those things, but those don't mean anything unless they connect with characters. And so when we come up with a character, we start with their function. What is this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and we figure out what was their childhood like? What was their upbringing like? what kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh reality, and did they overcome them, and how did they overcome them, or did they not overcome them, and why? And you can see all of those things in their environment, in their dialogues, in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now, you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're gonna see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game, because it helps inform us as to who these characters are.
And for me, I would not be myself if I would not say that I'm the most excited about our quests. Like with our Witcher 3 team, with Patrick and like everybody that has stayed with us since the Witcher 3 time, we really have grown so much. We have learned so much, and we have used all that experience to put them into the quest that we have made. And you will not find really a filler in this game. Like everything has a meaning. Like we put so much effort into making sure that everything is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said,
the game
is talking about
so
worlds,
good.
is talking about emotions, like touching the player in a
play
really
it on the PS5
like a real
or
way.
PC so bad.
And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
Okay, Holly, I mean, you asked for it. So this is my notebook. It says Salsa Quest Designer. The reason is because I dance salsa, and I'm a quest designer, so you know. So I started this notebook actually when we were really starting Cyberpunk. At the very beginning, I wrote like a first note, and it says pretty much something along the lines of that we were starting with a prototype. And then, you know, I kept on basically noting things that we've been working on for like next years. I remember once when our concept artists actually approached me, and they said that they want to take a look on my notebook. I was like, what for actually? And they took some pictures, and they told me, yeah, well, you know, because we are looking for a reference material for notes of a psychopathic killer. Yeah, well, you may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
Pavel and Patrick, thank you so much for joining me. I'm pretty lucky because I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for Braindance, and I'm pretty excited for people.
Because the live stream starts in 2 minutes. So there we go. Oh, less. Let's get it here. Let's do this.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave.
I always get copyrighted for that.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of
Here's
Night
number
City
2.
Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into Life Paths and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team. Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused are bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started. Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will you pick first?
This is dope. I don't know, Street Kid or Nomad sounds good.
Who do we have here? Grew up in Haywood. The whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it. I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Hopping buildings, running away from badges. Iron-tasted blood from a split lip. Motherfucker. Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you find some stronger tubers.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend?
Oh my god.
Overnight.
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
Soundtrack sounds really cool too. The music.
My childhood? Let's see. Racing my bobber for the first time through the hills. Oh, and first kiss in the middle of a synth cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family. A choice forges strong bonds and a higher duty that stands solid as an old oak.
I love this so much.
My family's in pieces. That's why I'm headed for Night City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met. Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
Corpo.
I have those reports you asked for.
They were supposed to be ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No, I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
Some corruption?
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
It's the rules, Jack. Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendejo who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
Ooh, the choices seem awesome. Some great diversity there. I don't know. I like Nomad and Street Kid a lot. Probably go Nomad first, though, maybe.
It is so good to see you again. It's actually been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today, we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the Street Kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. You know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the city, which can of course give you lots of good opportunities also later on in the game. But if you start as a nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City, that we call the Badlands, actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there. Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
So this isn't just about the start of the game. Can you maybe help people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game,
but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an example, we do that by giving you additional options and dialogues. So I can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers stole that flathead before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path, you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines, and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we as an example don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have a couple of extra questions for you based on the video we just saw. And the first is about nomads. So the nomad life path, this starts in a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night City is surrounded by this huge landscape that we call the Badlands, and you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if you actually do play the Nomad life path at the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on the horizon. And we want to give you the option later in the game, if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. The thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past, there's global warming, so most people that do live out there don't really have another choice about it, or are nomads that love this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, the cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Oh my god.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us.
This is like...
Now on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking
Westworld
Nomad,
in a video game.
But for those
you know what
watching,
I mean?
we would love to know
that we saw
what
in
you'll
season
be picking.
3.
So have a think about it and send us a tweet.
But even cooler.
Don't forget that later in this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's talk about music, because music plays a huge part in bringing Night City to life. Now, in future episodes, we're going to talk about things like radio stations and even the original score. But today, we're going to take a look behind the scenes at how Refused to bringing Johnny Silverhand's band, Samurai, to life.
I wouldn't write these lyrics for myself. So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda. it's interesting to try to like catch a language that's his and try to
Samurai
catch a language
seems awesome.
that's like a part of this game.
Love Refused. I saw them live before. They're crazy.
There's a reason why we're here.
If you like hardcore music.
It was Piotr maybe who was a fan of the band.
He knew Refused and he knew my voice and he said, oh, that's a perfect voice for Johnny.
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band, because he's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal rat on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, and light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to, and like just like this outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refused's life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of us, you know? So I think it makes sense. I think it totally makes sense for us to be here making these songs about him or for him, you know? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
And then, I mean, just sort of build,
yeah,
slowly build sort of into.
I love the behind the scenes stuff.
Mode and just going all in. So we really worked on these songs, trying to make them as good as possible. But then they're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as Samurai.
Game looks so
and
amazing.
I'm here with Johnny Silverhand, you know? So it's like the voice we're representing here is someone else.
We'll never fade away!
It's been a mind fuck.
This is so cool. I love this. I'm so stoked to play this game. I can't wait. You know that Wolverine meme where he's holding the picture? That's Cyberpunk. It's me in Cyberpunk.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me, because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says...
He has so much energy.
I'm happy with everything except
oh my
for
God.
Azza Lynn. Again, it's Azza.
Great live performer.
Azza. Okay.
The shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
swallowing some syllables there.
Adjust your accent.
Oh yeah, just try it again.
So it's been a bit kind of frustrating.
That's what I listened to growing up with punk rock and metal and surf punk.
It wasn't horrible, but it
I like
wasn't
dance music
great.
and stuff too.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, you have to
old rock
maintain
and
the
roll.
illusion that
I
this
love
character
punk rock.
that's a character of the game also
Punk
is
rock,
me,
hardcore,
like when I'm singing.
screamo.
So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things, because I'm not used to. Usually people just like give me a thumbs up, and then like you think the things like the rhythm, and you think about the pitch, and you think about all these things. But then someone comes in and like that word sounded weird. I'm like, what? No, that's how I sing. But so it's been a very a bit painful at times. But it's all right.
See this zone, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in. Mayhem close.
Punk
It's a
rockers are
very
getting old,
interesting
man.
thing to be part of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, like Samurai would sound, So it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
That was a cool behind the scenes with Refused. Oh.
You can already find 3 Samurai tracks available on streaming services: Chippin' In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce a 4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
All right, I'm down for this. This is a great feature so far. It's been super fun. Tools of destruction.
Finish him.
Finish him. How will we finish him? In Cyberpunk.
AV, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires as planned with them.
Katana.
You better gear up for this.
I want a jacket like that. Oh, this is so dope. Customizing weapons and stuff too. That'll be so fun. Love RPG elements like that. Oh, dope. Oh! This game is gonna be sick. Oh my god, heat-seeking shit? Programmable weapons? Oh my god. Oh
Sorry.
my god.
Are you willing?
Yes, we are willing.
I'm in.
That was sick.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me. Now, there was
Looks
an awful
so
lot
much
in that
fun.
video, right? Because there's more than just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours about this stuff.
I think just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall. Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
So Pavel, Cyberpunk doesn't just contain FPS elements, right? It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those 2 elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that reload times become shorter,
The accuracy of your weapons grows. You will have faster aiming time. You will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well, the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary. And as they go in rarity, they actually climb in power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually need to make some tough choices to find some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modifications.
Yeah.
What mods can people give to their weapons in Night City?
So we have two types of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications that we call attachments. So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other part of mods would be software mods. Now, these are basically small chips that you install in your weapon, and they actually change the statistics of the gun. They can give you damage, they can give you accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon?
I want this game.
Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one, but I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover or who doesn't even know you're there. Of course, I also like a close quarters approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now, that thing is cast from pure steel, and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach, I would say, is a smart shotgun, Kangtao Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can track 8 targets independently. Now, killing an entire room was never simpler.
Pavel, thank you so much for joining me.
Wow,
Thank you
that's
for
crazy.
having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick up The World of Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with Dark Horse Books that will give you an extensive look at what makes
I didn't
Night
even know
City
they had
tick
this.
before jumping into the game this November. That is it for
think I'll have to
today's
get that for
episode.
sure.
Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be back with Night City Wire Episode 3 soon.
Oh, that was sweet. They showed a lot of different... Oh, they got cool collectibles, huh? Wish I was rich so I can get all of it. That was pretty cool. That was a really cool showcase. They showed the Life Pass, which was really dope. Kind of the different versions of the kind of style of gameplay that you're going to have on the channel. Here, let's stop this. We'll go to YouTube. anyways, so yeah, that was really cool. Like I said, I really enjoyed the gameplay specifically that they showed with all the different weapons and stuff like that. Let's search them up. This game is going to be absolutely incredible. They might have it uploaded. I'm not sure. Let's go check. Yeah, they don't have the Cyberpunk stuff up yet, but they said it was going to be on the channel. So go subscribe to them for sure if you want to get updated with the Cyberpunk stuff. But I think, one of the things that really impressed me was obviously the amount of customization that is going to be in each part of the game. The fact that we are going to have guns that can have all sorts of different parts that can be modified. And then you could modify the actual statistics of a gun. So obviously there's going to be like really cool, unique loot that you can do that with. Or if you don't see something unique, you can go buy it from a shop, something that, might be above your current level in a game that can maybe, move you past a harder boss encounter or a specific part of the game. So that's really cool. And then all of the different life paths are amazing. They showed us a little bit into the nomads, and then they also showed a little bit into the life path of the Corpo, which seemed very different from the starting point of the nomad, which comes from outside of the city, that region that is kind of like this Mad Maxy Borderlands area around Night City. And then we have, of course, the street kid, and there's going to be different interactions for each life path, like a specific quest. Each life path may get to do it, but each life path is going to be each quest is going to be completely different because of the life path you've taken. You might not have knowledge and lingo from the street kid if you're a Corpo and you're trying to do this quest, and you might not be able to interact with certain characters as easily as you might deal with the street kid. So it's really there's going to be so many different kinds of playthroughs. I love games like this. Like even The Witcher 3, for example, like you can play as kind of just a straight warrior if you want with Geralt, and you can maximize the amount of damage you do with your swords and stuff like that, or you can be kind of build your way into an alchemy tree and have all sorts of different potions that you put on your swords and that you take that are make you a lot more effective versus all the different monsters in the game, and just stuff like that. There's like we kind of saw that with Ghost of Tsushima too, right? With the way we were kind of picking if we want to like a specific stance, for example. Oh, do we want to unlock that? We got 2 skill points, but we can unlock like throwing 2 more kunai or whatever. So there's going to be like, this game is going to be the cream of the crop when it comes to customization for your character. Like even character creation is going to have so many cool different things to check out. But yeah, I am super stoked for Cyberpunk 2077. I'll probably talk about this a little bit more, but I thought we would do a live reaction, and overall I was really impressed. I was impressed by just the gunplay. They showed us like the smart weapons and the kind of more power weapons. They talked about the different kind of systems that each weapon would be a part of, and I found that super cool. And of course, like we saw like the smart rounds, like the heat-seeking bullets that were tracking enemies and stuff like that. And then we saw obviously the sniper rifle that could shoot through walls and track people through walls. Just absolutely insane stuff. So really cool stuff. That was a great kind of look into some of the gameplay, some of the more less questy stuff. Because last time they showed Braindance, which was super cool, right? Like the more investigative side of Cyberpunk. This time they showed more of kind of like the melee stuff, the combat of the game. So that's really cool. Loved it. For those of you who do want to check out more content on the channel, make sure you set your notification bell, hit that notification bell, and subscribe. Of course, if you do want to see more Cyberpunk and gaming content, you can support the channel by joining Patreon or hitting that join button. Find the links in the description of the video. And yeah, follow me on social media, Fandom Media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You want me to do a specific video about Cyberpunk or a weapon or anything like that on The Witcher, all sorts of different stuff we're going to be covering here on the channel. And yeah, I just really appreciate the support, everyone. So thank you for joining me today for the live reaction to Night City Wire. I'm probably going to go watch it again, but yeah, I'll be back for some more content soon. Have a great Monday.